Hey moms, welcome to the Gather Moms podcast. My name is Kate.
And I'm Rebecca. We've created this space just for you because we're both moms and we get you.
Yes, we believe there truly ain't no hood like the motherhood, and we need to be in this together. We also believe we can't mom well without Jesus, so you're going to hear us talk about him too.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Gather Moms and make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a single episode.
All right, mamas, let's jump in. Hey moms, welcome back to the Gather Moms podcast. We are so glad that you are with us and we have missed you.
Oh, we missed you so much.
We took a summer break, but oh my gosh, it flew by.
I mean, I feel like towards the end, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Let's go back to school.
I know. Summer flew. Like preparing for this episode, I was trying to think, what all did we do this summer?
Yeah.
I almost have to like look at pictures. And be like,
Yes.
What have we been doing?
Because at the beginning, you feel like you have so much time.
Yes.
And then you get to mid-July and you're like, wow, it feels like we're almost to the end. That's when I turned to Greg and I'm like, I'm done with these children.
Yeah.
What should we do now? And he's like, you get this way every summer. This is about the time that y'all have all hit your, level and you need to go back. I'm like, all right, well, it's time.
Well, and, depending on where you are, we're down here in Texas and it is HOT.
But we've had such a nice summer. Y'all, Pete Delkus has brought us some good weather.
Okay, if you are local to the Dallas area, Rebecca is a big fan of our local weatherman.
I love the weather.
She's a
and
fan
the weather
girl.
loves me.
Yeah. So Pete Delkus every day. Do you spend time with Pete Delkus?
Every day, unless he's like, he doesn't work the weekend. So, I have to get somebody else.
Oh, wow.
Actually, it's Jesse Huila. I know his name too. But then back on Monday, Pete's back, and he's been really nice to us this summer.
Okay, so catch us up. What have you guys been up to this summer?
Lots of downtime, lots of prepping this graduate child of mine to go to college. I'm still excited.
Good. That's good.
Still excited.
Have you been acquiring DBU swag for him or?
No, I'm paying enough money to that school. I don't got money for your clothes, too.
Okay.
Y'all going to have to do something. Where's the free t-shirt?
Okay.
Send
we
on
can
the
do
free
some
t-shirts.
iron-ons or get out your puffy paint.
But I do have a corner of our house where everything is just living until we take him.
Did you hit Amazon Prime Day and look for sales or anything?
I did. I bought some stuff off of Amazon Prime. Target did this 20% off for college grads or kids going to college. And we've had really, I haven't been insane with spending, but he's a boy. I don't know if it's different for a girl.
You tagged me in some chair giveaway, and I'm like, is this for Jake's
No.
college tour?
If I tag you in a giveaway, just hear me, moms. It is not for anybody else in my family but me, okay? It is purely for me. I'd like to win some jewelry, some furniture, some In My Sundays PJs.
Okay.
Shout out Mallory Irvin.
Wow.
I need all these free things, but I have not won anything yet. So sorry.
Keep going.
It's not working.
Okay, keep going.
No winning.
So you did say downtime. I'm super jealous of that. What does that mean? Y'all just been chilling? Because that has not been my story.
Yes, you just stay in your PJs all day.
Bro.
You don't do the dishes till 5 when your husband's about to come home, and you watch. I started a new series, and it's just living my best life.
Wow. I am very happy that you got to experience that.
That's what summer's for. Summer's for downtime.
Yeah, it is, except if you're a working mom and you're trying to...
have a job. Hey, but I got a job, so I'm about to join the working force. So I'm enjoying my last moments of downtime.
But you're going to teach. Okay, tell our moms what you're going to be doing.
Okay, moms, shout out to Jesus. He said, you have a kid going to college, let me help. Here's a job. So my husband's very excited. I'm going to go back to work, and I'm going to be a Bible teacher at a private Christian academy for 7th and 9th grade. And I love teenagers. I love them. I love girls. I don't know about boys. I don't really teach boys a lot.
But you have boys. You're going to be great.
That's true. You're right. The Lord did give me boys, and they are teenagers.
Yeah.
So I feel like that makes me an expert.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
No, it's going to be great. And you'll still have your summers off. So when I was thinking about, this episode is just kind of like our re-entry back into the podcast. And so just kind of catching up on summer and announcing our new season. But I was thinking about, my summer, and we had lots of really good things. But one thing that I have struggled with this summer is mom guilt and trying to navigate with my 8-year-old
It's the little. It's always the little
expectations for me. And my husband does a really good job. Like pretty much every evening, he takes her to the pool, and she spent more days in the pool this summer than out of it. You know, she's very happy to be in the pool. She's a fish. But she has an insatiable appetite to be with people and to be with me.
Yep.
And so there's just really never enough, you know? And at the beginning of the summer, because we kind of had this last summer too. So at the beginning of the summer, I sat her down and I was like, here's the schedule. Here's what you can expect from me. But even just a couple weeks ago, she, you know, sat down with tears in her eyes and she said, I've just been on my iPad all day. I haven't done anything. And let me tell you, it triggered me.
Yes.
Because I was like, excuse me, that's your choice. First of all, you're not supposed to be on your iPad all day. You
say you live in the Henderson house. Did you do your checklist this morning?
Right. Like, you know, you had your things that you were supposed to be doing to get you outside, to be creative, to move your body. You know, you haven't done any of those today. And, you know, also, there's a playground in the backyard for you. There are friends that live on your street. There's a whole cabinet full of books and puzzles and fun things upstairs, creative activities. Like, you know, you being bored is not my problem.
I love the way you said that.
But, you know, it was just, and I just kind of had to like let her have it a little bit because she, especially being my youngest, she knows how to work me and work my emotions.
You know, that's what my older two kids say, that youngest just for some reason has a little button that she pushes, and I don't believe them. Surely we don't give them whatever they want.
No, and because then, of course, it's like, you know, then she kind of cried. She was like, I'm sorry, Mom, you know, you're right. And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, do you want to make brownies together?
Let me just step in there and give you a memory for today. Let's go.
Because I do, you know, and that's the thing is I want to spend time with them more than anything. I just trying to calibrate her expectations. The other kids are cool. The thing that's been challenging for us this summer is we thought this would be the summer of having a driver to help us. And we were, you know, so excited to have a kiddo that could help get everybody to their camps every day.
You said this is your job this summer. It's called I'm Mom's Helper.
Yes. Our middle one does like every morning has like a sports thing from 7 to 8:30 in the morning. So it was like, hallelujah, you know, we're going to have somebody to help. But he has kind of had a rough start with his driving season. And so that meant that this summer we actually needed him to take a break from driving.
Which I'm so proud of y'all. Like that's huge for somebody that gets a driver and enjoys the benefits and then has to go, okay, I think maybe we need to take a step back. That's a big deal because you're taking that responsibility back on yourself.
Let me tell you, somebody said to me, because I was telling them about kind of what we've been going through, and he said, being a good parent is hard work.
Is.
You know, it is hard to make the tough decisions. So he's been working at Chick-fil-A, which we love. We're so thankful. And to pay off the debts that he's accrued by playing bumper cars with his car. He's working.
Not just his car.
His car, my car, somebody else's car. Yes. To you know, pay off those debts, he's working 40 hours a week at Chick-fil-A. And so that means, you know, that not only are we trying to get the girls to all their things and keep them occupied, but then getting him to and from work every day. And he typically works the night shift.
Yes, mine did too. And it's like 10, 10:30, 11.
Yeah.
I'm already in my PJs. What are we doing?
Ma'am. And so, you know, sitting outside of Chick-fil-A at 10:30 at night and waiting for him to walk out is like, wow, here we are. And, you know, that
Bring me a chicken sandwich. I'm just kidding.
It has been so challenging. And I don't know, when Jake walks out, because did he walk out with an ice cream? They give him an ice cream when they leave. They can get like a cone or a...
Oh, he brings his meal home.
Okay.
Because he gets a meal every time he works or whatever.
Yeah.
So he doesn't eat till he comes home. So he comes home with his
Caleb's
meal.
gotten work because he's working 8-hour shifts.
Right.
He eats his meal there.
During the break.
During his break.
Yes.
And then he, at the end of his shift, gets an ice cream.
Gets an
So
ice
he's
cream.
always walking out to the car, sipping this ice cream. And I'm like, we got to go, bro. Like...
Better lick fast. I'm done.
So, you know, that it has been a challenge, but just recently I felt like God was so sweet to remind me, you know, one of the things that happens when you do get a driver is that kid kind of slips away. Like they start driving and probably get a job. And then it's like the amount of time that you see them becomes
it's drastically different.
Yeah, so small. And we really needed to be able to kind of lean in with him this season. And so, God has been so kind to remind me, hey, I'm giving you back this car time with him.
Yes.
And so that's been so formative because we've had really significant talks. And sometimes then, with teenagers, you learn that you can't blast them with stuff all the time. And so I'll store up in my heart, like, okay, I think I need to kind of...
This Post-it note on my heart says that today we're going to talk about...
Yeah. And so then in the car, kind of as I get the opportunity, it's like I get to kind of slide some things in. And so it's been really sweet. And we've seen God be so faithful in his life. And it was the right thing, but it's just made it an infinitely more challenging summer financially. All of our resources are tapped out.
Yes.
Time, money.
It's funny you said that because I've been thinking about like taking Jake to dinner before he goes off to college, and I've got my mental Post-it note. Here are the things that I don't know, or maybe I've said and I want to say it one more time before I send you off.
Yeah.
As moms, we kind of have that like thing going in our brain.
Yeah.
Not when they're little, because when you're little, you're like, I can't think at all. Did you eat today? Great. Okay, we're done.
Yeah.
But when they're older, you start to have, I wanted to tell them that, and I need to remind them about this, or we'll read something or like hear something on the radio and be like, I want to share this with them. And what's so funny is my parents still do that.
Yeah, really.
Like, I don't think you ever grow out of that as a parent, where you hear or think of something you want to tell your kids, and then you get so excited. We may not be as excited to receive all that they want to share, but they're so excited to tell us.
No, and that's so interesting because, I think you have a special opportunity with sending him off where, you kind of have a sense where you can say, hey, before you go, I want to lean in here. With my son, what's been the most helpful is just asking him questions. And that's been the most effective form of communication. And I'm asking questions with a purpose. I'm leading him into a specific direction.
Right.
But I'm not coming at him and saying, hey, you don't need to be doing this or that. It's starting from a place of, hey, what would you think if this and this happened? Giving him scenarios, or what would you do if this? Or how do you think what do you think about this or that?
Yeah.
And letting him start having those conversations so that, he knows I'm safe and I'm not going to blast him every time he talks.
Agreed.
We have also entered the stage with teenagers where my husband and I find ourselves just talking less.
Yeah.
They say things that you are processing and it's just like, this blessed child has no clue.
No clue.
And instead of correcting everything, you kind of just get to a place where you're like, just quiet.
Yep.
And you just kind of move along.
You do. There's lots of move along in my house. Even as the 18-year-old leaves, there's some move along there. I'm like, okay.
And I'm thankful to be in that place because I feel like for a long time I was kind of really like correcting everything. And we've kind of moved to a place where it's like, no, it's just not worth the energy. Like he's going to figure it out at some point.
Don't you think that's the same thing with God though? Don't you think sometimes God's like, let's just move along.
Bless her heart.
Let's just move along.
Okay, so let's talk about trips that we took this summer.
Okay.
One thing you and I both did is we both went to summer camp with our girls.
Church camp.
Okay,
shout out.
So let's talk about church camp. So last year, our church went to this a little bit bougie camp. And I remember getting there up in the mountains and I was like, bro, like my lead counselor and I had like a little room to ourselves with our own 2 bunk beds in there. And she and I were the only ones in there. There was a sink and a mirror and stuff. And I was like, and a dresser. I'm saying.
Did you take your clothes out of your suitcase?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I've never heard of anybody unpacking for church camp.
It was amazing. It was like, so I was in a lead car this time going to camp. I don't ride the bus with the campers. I'm so sorry.
Listen, moms, if y'all listening don't know this already about Kate, man, she ain't getting on that charter bus. So sorry. I will meet y'all there. One day you're going to fly. One day you're going to be like, I'm just going to fly and meet you there. That's what I'm going to do.
I want to be full of the Holy Spirit by the time that I encounter those girls. And when I tell you, if you stick me on a bus for hours with a couple hundred girls,
The bus doesn't have a couple hundred.
Okay, any amount.
Okay, just want to make sure we know. We don't have Texas-sized charter buses.
60,
okay?
How many girls were on that bus? 75.
40. 45?
No, ma'am, that bus is huge.
No, I'm so sorry. It does not hold 75 people. There are people in their cars laughing right now listening to you. Not everything's bigger in Texas. It's just a regular charter bus. Okay? Okay.
Okay, I'm going to find out. I'm saying it's more than 45.
45 students.
Anyway, so we're rolling to this camp. They drop me off. I get to what's going to be our dorm early before everybody else, and I open the door. And when I tell you...
This is not the bougie camp.
No,
That was last year.
That was last year. This is the camp we're at this year in South Central Texas, where it's,
It was HOT.
on fire,
Yes, on fire.
And I open the dorm room door and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the scene from a prison movie. Like, this is what...
Parents, we're not sending your kids to prison, I promise.
This is what the dormitory looks like in like Gen Pop. Like if you watch a prison movie and there's like all these people with just these bunk beds in this open room, these steel metal bunk beds.
Were yours steel?
About half of them were metal. Some of them were wood. Yes.
Oh gosh, okay. All of ours were wood, and it felt like somebody had gone out back and cut down a tree and like put some wood together.
And when I tell you, one of the beds that was wood was like barely it had like a little twig left on one of the like upper things. So I radioed, to get somebody out there to fix it. And when I tell you, this man just took a piece of lumber and attached it to that thing, we just moved on down the road.
We go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I get in there and I'm like, oh my goodness, and I start counting, and there's 56 beds, and we have 51 girls staying in this thing, and there are 3 showers. Mm-hmm. And I am just like, how are we going to make it through? You know how I made it through?
Tell me.
I created a cave in my bottom bunk, and I hung towels and blankets around so that nobody could see me, nobody could talk to me.
Yeah. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Yeah. So I survived. How did you do it, Cam?
So we had a similar place that we stayed for our cabin as well, and I didn't count. I don't count. I'm like, I just feel like every bed's full, so I bet we're just all in here. So we did, for showers, you got the length of one song. So we played music.
Yep.
And once your song started, you could start your shower, and once your song ended, you had to get out.
Yeah.
And bless my little 5th grade girls, they have so much hair. How are they washing their hair in these showers in one song? You try that at home, moms. Try washing your hair and body in one song.
Dude, okay, because you were with one of the ladies that I was with. So we figured out that shower routine pretty quickly.
Yes.
We had them line their badges up along the bed, and so I was the shower captain. So I'm in that bathroom going, okay, everybody go. And then it's everybody out.
Yes.
Turning that sucker over, because you don't get to bed until everybody's gone through the shower. Yeah.
What I think is so funny, and I don't know if it's because we were at camp or if this is how people do it at home too. They would come out of the shower dripping wet.
Yes.
And they would wrap their towel around them because you didn't have time to change in there either. Like, so sorry, your time in there is over. And they would be dripping wet from head to toe.
Yeah.
Their hair's not in a towel. It's just dripping down their back. When I'm at home, I'm almost fully dry by the time I get out of the shower.
Yes.
I've got a towel around my hair.
Yeah.
My body's done. Because I'm going to get cold.
Yeah.
Do other people do it different? Am I just different? Do people just get out of the shower dripping wet?
No, I get out of the shower dry. Also, I wipe myself down. But I will tell you, my teenage son, he'll get out of the shower and he doesn't even have a full head of hair. Like, he just has boy hair.
Right.
And when I tell you, it is dripping down him and dripping onto the floor. And I'm like, what are we doing? You tousle your hair and wipe yourself off before you come out.
I just feel like somebody needed to tell me that I needed to teach my children.
Well,
I thought I did.
We need to circle back with these kids because nobody is wiping themselves down before they get out.
Nobody's drying themselves off.
No. And then it's this slippery mess of 50 girls coming through a bathroom. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a rough situation.
And I'm scared to step on somebody else's drippings.
Yeah.
I will only step on my drippings. So I'm wearing shoes everywhere.
And can we be honest? Okay, one of the hardest things about that is I'm not trying to go real potty in a dorm with all of those women, or girls.
Kate, what does real potty mean?
Ma'am. So that
I just feel like somebody listening may not know what that means.
Okay, I am going to find a private bathroom to be able to handle my business. And you have to be very strategic about that. Because, I'm just not trying to do that in a cabin full of girls.
I just feel like I've hit that phase of life where I'm like, I'm over it. Like, this is me. I'm here to help you people. You're just going to have to be part of this.
My body will not. It's like, nope, can't do it. You need to find a place where you are solo.
Why didn't you tell me to send you with some Mucilex or something?
Mucinex?
Mucilex.
What's Mucilex?
Mucilex.
Is that like fiber or something?
Miselex?
I don't know, dog. I don't have a problem.
There is some fiber supplement you take that helps you go to the bathroom.
Okay, well.
We're at that age where we have to start taking things with us.
Okay, no. I just don't want to be free-flowing in a situation where with people I don't know. No.
Once again, the differences between us.
Can't do it. Okay, so.
I wanted to share something, though, because part of summer and going on trips and camps and everything else is the purchasing of a bathing suit.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I would like to help the advertisers of America properly label their swimsuits.
Okay, what does that mean?
Okay, because I'm at the age where I've accumulated some suits over the years, right?
Yeah.
We don't throw those things away.
Yeah.
Man, we keep that drawer full.
Sure.
Every once in a while you get a new one. When I get a new one, we may be different on this. It's whatever's on sale.
I mean,
probably clearance.
Okay, not clearance, but I did. Okay, I finally got one of those. If you see those somersault suits.
Oh, I see them everywhere.
Okay, they went like 40% off, so I bought one this summer.
Okay, so you bought it on sale. I'm typically shopping clearance rack at Target.
Okay.
And I need them to label the suits in this way. Number 1, will not be swimming in this.
Okay. Because it's not going to stay?
That's a certain type of suit. That is a, wow, you look real pretty.
Okay, this is a showman suit, not a working suit.
It is not meant for the water.
Okay.
Number 2, I'm chasing kids in this suit.
Yeah.
Because you got to cover your bum.
Yeah.
Because all you're doing is bending over and pulling people out of water that are drowning.
Yeah.
And then the third type of suit is, and this is what I experienced, will be in the waves suit.
Okay.
Okay, so we went to the beach this summer, and I did not wear the correct swimsuit.
Okay.
To be in the waves.
Okay.
Have you been in the waves?
Yeah.
Are they kind?
I don't know. I don't know where you're going.
I was at Pensacola Beach.
Okay.
Full beach of people.
Uh-huh.
The waves were hopping.
Uh-huh.
You ever been in a hopping wave?
Sure.
Gotten knocked over.
Okay.
Throws your hat off.
Uh-huh.
You get up, spitting water.
Yeah.
You turn around to find your hat. A very nice older gentleman says, "Is this yours?" And you say, "Yes, thank you so much." And then when you turn back around to your daughter, do you know what she says to you? Something is not in the suit where it's supposed to go.
Shut up.
Wait
a minute.
One of the two
Shut
is waving hello to
Shut
everybody on the beach.
up.
I didn't know because I've just been hit by a wave.
Okay.
I'm just trying to breathe.
Wait a minute. I need to know, is this like a strapless suit?
No, ma'am, not strapless suit. I have full straps on this suit.
What has happened that one of the girls has popped out?
Because somebody needed to properly label this suit will not hold your chest if you get hit by a wave.
Was it low cut?
Okay, here's the other thing. I feel like as we get older, we need a little more support.
Okay.
For things.
Sure.
And I thought it had plenty of support. How was I supposed to know that it was not enough support? Well, now I know.
It just popped out the top.
Just hello. Hello.
Was your daughter mortified?
I walk up to the man to get my hat. He's holding my hat.
With your, just hanging out?
It is when I turn around from the gentleman. Abby, who is still in the water, her eyes get very big and round, and she's staring at something on my body. And when I look down, hello! And so I put it back in my suit real quick, and I say, let's move on down the beach so I don't have to see that gentleman anymore.
My word.
And then, of course, she can't wait to get off the beach to tell Dad and brothers that I have flashed Pensacola Beach.
I just can't even understand how this happened. Was the suit loose? Is it a one strap?
No. 2 straps, not loose. Leopard print, really cute, was on sale. I had already worn it once to the beach.
That baby was just looking to get out of there.
But apparently this wave was so violent that when it tossed me, not only did it take my hat off, but it moved body parts around. Okay? And I just want moms to know that you need to think about these things when you go to the beach. Is this a properly created suit for waves?
No, you're right. Okay. Wow. Ma'am, I'm glad you survived that.
And listen, I'm at that age where I've had 3 kids, and I'm like, yay for you. I mean, maybe that made you smile, and I'm okay with that.
Looking back on it, was there anything interesting about his face, his expression, his response to you?
Yes, he was smiling, but that's because he was holding my hat, and I was very kindly walking up to get it from him. I don't know.
But did you see his eyes ever be like a little?
No, but again, I had just been tossed by the wave. I'm trying to breathe. You know, you're trying to get the water out of your face.
Uh-huh.
Where's my hat? I'm not sure I had all my wits about me. And this beach was so full because there were so many people there that day. There's no telling. There's no telling.
I mean, yours surely wasn't the only that popped out that day. There were.
So this is where I'm bitter because I'm like, all these other girls are running around in a piece of fabric. I have multiple pieces of fabric on my body, and I'm attempting in the best way possible to keep myself covered. And here it is.
Okay, before we went to Italy, I was like, maybe I'm gonna go get a new swimsuit. So there's this really great company I like called Albion Fit or whatever, and they make really awesome swimsuits. So I have one that I love, and so I was like, let me go try some other ones. So I take these into the fitting room, and they looked fine on the hanger. When I tell you, every single one of those bottoms, I could not breathe. I was laughing so hard. I'm like, who needs to see this much of my hiney?
Don't you feel like when you start to put it on your leg, like you get an idea of what's about to happen? Because you're like, wow, that was really tight going over my calf. And then by the time it gets to your thigh, you're like, I'm not sure if this is going to go all the way up. And then when it does get up, you're like, this may never come off.
Dude, just the amount of cheek that's showing. It's like nobody wants to see all of this.
I just want to know how that stays on your butt cheek. Like when you walk, does it not move?
And like slide up?
Right. Is it supposed to do that? Is that what we're going for here?
I don't know.
Because I kind of want to walk around with a little flyer on the beach and go, are you uncomfortable? You should choose a better suit. Are you uncomfortable? You should choose a better suit. Don't you feel like we should help these people?
Oh my gosh, because, yeah. And it's like 1 out of 100 people who maybe it will stay still on. The rest, everybody's just jiggling that into one.
That's the name of that suit is will not be swimming. Okay? Every suit has a name. That's what that one's called. Okay?
Okay, the only downside I'll say about the somersault suit is that it does not have a shelf bra in it, which really surprised me. Like
There's no bra?
No. Now, it's kind of compression anyway, so I think it's going to hold everything together.
Right.
But I just like to know that something is below there that's going to kind of keep everything.
See, this is what we're talking about, a little more support. That's what happens. Welcome to the 40s.
So I was really surprised because I was like, this is an expensive suit. Where is the opt-in for the shelf bra?
Okay, but have you seen these new things? I had planned to talk about this, and then I felt like it was too risque, but I feel like you've just walked us right up to the edge, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump. I don't even know what you call them. They're the little silicone.
Yeah, the little jelly
inserts.
Yeah.
You can wear those under swimsuits.
But why would you?
Because if it doesn't have a shelf bra, you just put your little jelly in there.
It looks like a chicken cutlet, those little things.
No, they're round.
I know, but why would I need that?
Because if you buy a suit that doesn't have any sort of padding or bra, you can put that in and then feel like you're not poking.
Oh, that's what it's doing for us. Is keeping everything smooth.
Oh, it's not holding anything
up. Okay, because
up.
I was like, that chicken cutlet is not keeping anything in place on this girl.
It's just smoothing. Listen, I have a sweet friend, and I was looking for a swimsuit for Abby. She's at that age where you're out of the little girls, but you're not quite in juniors, and little girls don't have padding.
Right, exactly.
So you need the little girl suit, but it doesn't have the padding. She's like, let me show you this amazing thing I found. Y'all, it's genius. Abby can wear them.
Oh, okay.
Yes. You know, sometimes their little sports bras don't have support either.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you just put that little chicken cutlet in there, and you are ready to go.
Okay, I like that. That's actually a really good tip for like preteen moms.
It's amazing. But it's a great tip for us, too.
Yeah.
Like, it works for us, too.
Yeah.
And they're reusable. So you can use them multiple times.
And you can swim with it?
You can swim with it. Because that's what she told me about for it. She said you can buy those bathing suits and just put this little... Now, listen, I have not field tested this. So, if y'all...
We've got to put you back out in the beach
y'all
with
would
the
like
waves.
Me to, I mean, I could go field
Rebecca
test
comes
this
out of
for
the
us.
water with one over her eye like a pirate.
Okay, but that would be awesome. That would be so awesome. I'm going to field test this for us. I'm going to see.
Okay, great. All right. Well, I am thankful. I feel like, we did have a good summer. Highlights for me of the summer were Caroline got into bed with me every night and we read, multiple chapters. We went through multiple books and I really loved that. We got to read together a lot. And then the two big kids, we did James with Gather Moms and they did James with me.
I love that.
And it was really neat kind of how the Holy Spirit intertwined our hearts on that because my son had said, hey, I've kind of finished what I'm studying. What do you recommend next? And I was like, I don't know. Maybe think about James. And he got into it and he was like, I love this. And then my daughter said, hey, what are you studying right now? I think what are you doing? And I said, well, what do you think about James? And they both, I didn't tell them to do it.
Right.
I just was like, just consider it. And then they have both loved it.
I love that.
And they each found people that they're studying with, but then we were able to share, the things that we're learning. And my son ended up memorizing. I think he's got James 1 memorized.
That's
and
amazing.
So that's been really fun.
That's amazing.
They've, Lydia especially has really, the summer's been about sports. So she's been working on, as she heads into 8th grade athletics, she knows.
She wants to be a boss. Come on, get it, girl.
Yeah, so she's been working on that
girl.
stuff. We have Caleb working full time and there's just been lots of good little sweet moments. I really feel like too, I got to lean in with Lydia turned 13, this last semester. And so that's such a formative age. And it was neat to go to church camp with her. And then on the heels of that, I surprised her and told her we were going on a trip, just the two of us, to Nashville to celebrate kind of her rite of passage. And that was just so cool to spend those 3 days with her and get to go hear some of her favorite artists and have some intentional conversations and things like that. So, even though the summer has zoomed by, I think it was helpful for me to sit down before this episode and think about what are some of the things I want to remember about summer of 2024 with my family? What are some of the things we learned? What are some of the things that I want to remember? And I'm so thankful for Instagram and my chat books that get printed out of that where,
right.
I can kind of keep those memorial stones of all the good things that have happened.
I think that's one of the benefits, of social media is that we're able to kind of capitalize on some of those memories. And I think I just tell myself all the time I want to remember it all, but I can't.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to have some of those memories set aside. When we went on our vacation to the beach, I decided that I wasn't going to post the whole week we were there because I wanted to be intentional with the kids in that moment. And I wanted to take pictures, but sometimes you're taking a picture to post a picture.
Sure.
And I wanted to take a picture to remember the memory and then wait till the end. And I still liked the idea that I can get those on, my Instagram or Facebook afterwards so that I have them as memories. But I think as moms, sometimes it's nice to just put the phone and camera down and go, even if I don't get a picture of this moment, I still have it.
Yeah.
And I got to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's really great. So, as we end summer and we head into back to school, wherever you are, mom, in whatever season, whatever stage you are with your kids, we start to feel the seasons start to transition. And I just want to give us a few heads up as we start to transition out of that season and into the next one. First, I just want us to remember that every time seasons change, there is friction. There is always friction because we are starting new things. So we have new school supplies to buy. We have new schedules. We have new forms. We have new people. Mm-hmm. There's new teachers. There's new friends. There's new coaches. And so all of that new, just remember as you head into this next season, you're going to feel some of that friction until you start to get your routine going again. And so just for all of us to keep in mind, hey, as we go through August, it's still very hot.
Until Thanksgiving.
It's expensive. We're all trying to figure out new routines. Just remember that you are going to settle in. You guys are going to find your rhythm. Everybody's going to find their pace again. But those first few weeks of kind of trying to get our feet out under us in this new season can be a lot. So remember to give yourself grace, give grace to your children. It's okay if you're doing pre-prepared meals for dinner and you're just throwing a pizza in the
right.
oven,
That's
or
right.
you're driving through somewhere, you might even kind of get in your mind, hey, I'm not cooking this week.
Right.
And figure out, can a kid take on a meal, or can we pick up a meal, or can I have a pre-prepared lasagna?
That's right.
That, you're just not having to make things from scratch. So kind of think that through a little bit to help build in a little bit of margin for yourself.
Well, and I told my family, since I'm starting a new teaching job and I have no idea, like it is walking into the unknown. I have no idea what it's going to take or how much energy or time. And so I've just been talking us through that, going, hey, looking ahead, y'all just know these first couple weeks, it may be weird. I may be edgy or tired, and you may be too. And we're just going to be kind to each other and know that just what you said, we're going to settle in.
Yeah.
It's just going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah, that's really good. So the last season of our podcast was called Mind Your Motherhood, and we were talking about seasons, and we talked about these 3 principles for whatever season you're in. And I just thought it'd be a good time for us to remember what those were as we walk into this next season. So the first one was to release unrealistic expectations.
Yep.
And so that's just what we were talking about. Mama, it's unrealistic for you to think that you're going to be able to, be fully dressed every morning, or get a full workout in, and then have a perfectly clean house and have a full meal made, and, everybody's going to be perfectly dressed. Like, release some of these unrealistic expectations on yourself and calibrate, what is realistic for this season.
Right.
Release the expectation that those kids are going to get up the first time you tell them to get up.
Exactly.
Release the expectation that, they're going to have a great first day of school, because they may not.
That's true.
They may not. You may be navigating some new issues. Just try and release. Think about in your mind, when you picture going back to school and this new season, how are you envisioning it? And then let yourself calibrate where that doesn't make sense. The next thing we talked about in our last season was embrace the joys of this season. And so if you have a kid in the school years, there are so many joys to embrace in this season.
Yay, school is back.
Yes. And there's a rhythm to it that we
Yes.
can embrace. There's a real joy in that rhythm. There's a joy in them learning and you getting to hear about what they're learning. There's a joy in them making new friends. There's a joy in, getting to tuck them in at night. There's a joy in being in the car with them. Like, there are some really great things in that season of having school-age children that will not be true for you someday as a mom. If you're a grandmom and you get to help with kids who are in school age, that is a particular blessing. Mm-hmm. That maybe you're getting to help with carpool, or you're getting to help.
See them when they come home from school, give them a snack,
Yes.
or hear about, their day because mom is at work
Yes.
and she's not there.
Yes. And so just looking at, okay, what are the opportunities that I have right now in this season that won't always be true as I mother these children? And instead of, I think that helps us to kind of turn it on its head. So instead of seeing it begrudging as like, oh, I've got to get them up at,
Right.
that it's like, hey, I have this time where these kids are in my house.
Right.
I get to wake them up in the morning and see their faces, and
Right.
I get to send them off to school with joy, and, kind of getting to realize what are the joys I get to embrace in this season. And then finally, anticipate future opportunities, because there may be things, Mom, in this season that are not yours to enjoy. There may be things like, for example, for me right now, there are things where I'm a working mom and I have kids at home. So that means that there are things that I would love to do in my free time that are not mine to have right now. And I can release those to the Lord instead of trying to cram it all into
Right.
this season of life.
Well, and not be jealous when you look at other moms that are in a different season of life, because they have their own struggles that they're having in that season. I think we just assume, we look at certain people and go, you must just have the best life ever.
Yeah.
But some stay-at-home moms are like, man, I wish I had somewhere to go
Yeah.
because I need a break.
Yeah.
And don't begrudge your story to God, that whatever he's written for you in this season, whether it's working or staying at home or homeschooling your kids, that's what's right for your family.
Mm-hmm. That's
and it
good.
could change.
Yeah. One of the things that we think is so important in this season, especially as we send our kids to school, whether you're homeschooling or private school or public school, or even if your kids are too young to be in school. They're just at home with you. One of the things Rebecca and I have noticed as our kids have gotten older is we just wish, looking back, that we would have prayed more and with more intentionality. And so that has become a big part of what we're doing here, is creating opportunities for you to be intentional in prayer. And so as we head into this new season in life, we want to come around you and each other and say, let's intentionally pray for our children. And so starting on August
19th. Nope.
27th. 26th.
Yes. Hello. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We will get the date correct.
Starting on Monday, August 26th, we are going to start 30 days of prayer for our children. And we have this really great calendar, and each week we will have a focus on what we are praying for our children with verses. And we have prayer cards where you could write a card and put it in their lunchbox and let them know what you are praying for them for that day. Or if it's a teenage kid and you're not sitting in with a lunchbox, you put it on their bed.
Or you text it to them.
You send them a text, but it helps us to cover every area of their lives in prayer, so that we are praying offensively for blessing and for health and for so many good things for our children. So we hope that you will join us. We will be doing that over on our Patreon. That's patreon.com/gathermoms, and you can find the link to that in the show notes. Moms, thanks so much for joining us. We can't wait to tell you about the new season here on the Gather Moms podcast that is kicking off on the next episode. So we will see you then.
Bye, moms.